you to, ma'am, what's going on with you this morning? What's going on? Are you having a moment? Okay, I turned on the air, so I have to close the door, which means you cannot go sit on the patio. Wait till I'm done with my live, and then you can go sit back on the patio, okay? Okay. Yeah. Good morning, guys. Can you guys hit the hearts? Can we get the hearts pumping, please? We got a lot of information to go through this morning. I don't know if I can see it. Oh, I can't see anybody. What do you call it? It's the retrograde. All fur babies are acting crazy. I guess. But she always crazy. So what's new? Hello, people in YouTube land. If you've entered the room, can you put something? Because I can't really tell if anybody's in here. There we go. Hi, Chrisland. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Kitty. Haven't seen you in a while. Glad to see you. Thank you, Alibaba. Good morning. Hi, Bailey and Teddy. Hello. Good morning. Good morning in YouTube. Good morning in TikTok land. Good morning, people. I'm actually on time. I am actually on time. How is Georgia? Georgia is hot as hell. She is a girl. I only do black females in this house. I only do black girls in this house. Yes, she's a girl. Her name is Emerald. Emerald Jade. She has a last name, but we don't get that out. You ready to go? You can go. Thank you. Hello, peoples. Hello. Oh, y'all quick with the hearts this time. That's only fair. It's hot as hell everywhere. Everywhere is hot. If y'all, I swear, if y'all not in the house, where are y'all? Because I can't. Like, I really can't. It's so damn hot, it's not even funny. It's so hot to the point where I'm ready to cut off all my damn hair. That's how hot it is. I'm ready for this shit to go. Even though I am getting it cut this weekend. Chopping it off. Woohoo! We're chopping the hair off. Yes, it's got to go. I can only do blue hearts, but my love it. Oh, got it, Savannah. Oh, hey from Savannah, Georgia. All right, let's get this shit rolling. First and foremost, y'all. Don't start. First and foremost, France has opened their doors to Palestine. You're hearing me right. France is opening the door to Palestine. France is now allowing Palestinians to seek refugee status in their country. Now, I know Burkina Faso is whooping the shit out of France, but at least France is doing something. At least they're trying to help. Yeah, that's a big wow for me because Egypt is sitting right there at the end of Gaza and still not helping. Thank you. They're still not helping. So the fact that they're opening their door and they're allowing Palestinians in is that's pretty big. That's pretty big. And I had to check just in case, because I didn't believe that shit. I had to go and check to see if that was actually real or not. And it is. It's real. So I'm happy to see that. Emerald, if you don't shut up while I'm trying to talk on here, shut it up. Hi, extraordinary hair. What I was about to say. So yes, President Macron said that they're going to open it and they're going to allow Palestinians to apply for refugee status. I don't know how long that refugee status is. I don't know if it's going to be a long, process. What I do know is giving Palestinians a chance to get out. I am not saying that they should be leaving. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying, it's a chance for them to have some type of peace for right now. It's a chance for them to get the medical treatment that they need because babies are being starved there. It is a chance to, get health care they need. It's a chance for them to get shelter, for them to get decent food. It's part of the plan 47 wants them. 47 don't want them, but France has already made it very clear that, you know, Israel is fucking up. Israel is messing up. And France does need people too as well. Let me make something very clear. Hello. Hi, YouTube land. France does need people. They do need people. I'm not going to lie. They do need people. I know Trump wants them out. But also, what's come down the pipeline is that Benny Boy wants to build a city. A humanitarian city for Palestinians. I'm putting that shit in quotations. Because we know anything Israel does is not humanitarian. They just bombed Syria like 20 minutes ago. Yeah. They just bombed Syria like 20 minutes ago. And you know Israel is going to play that, oh, hey, they're going to be like, oh, we're protecting ourselves. Yes, they just attacked Syria. They just bombed a big-ass building in Syria. No, you cannot brush my hair, you weirdo. But yeah, I just saw this on, y'all know I collect information all through the day. I just saw that shit. Syria is going to retaliate. I don't know what they gonna do, but Syria is not gonna take that sitting down. And you know, once Syria gets in, Iran is going to step up as well. I'm just saying, Syria does have allies. Why? What was the reason? He wanted a massage. She wants to massage my hair. Stop. We're not talking about my hair right now. I don't understand what the reason was, but you already know Israel's gonna play like they're the victim. They always play the victim. But Benny Boy is saying that they want to build a humanitarian city in the south of Gaza, near Rafah, for 600,000 displaced Palestinians. It's potentially for the whole 2 million Palestinians. They want to separate them from Hamas, which I don't believe that shit, because you're trying to put them at the edge of, I don't believe that. I don't believe it's safe. It is designed to be a Hamas-free zone. Yeah, because after y'all drones that they're saying accidentally, I'm bouncing, y'all, bear with me. Israel stated that their drones accidentally had technical difficulties, and that's why they unalived 10 children getting water. They said technical difficulties after they unalived 10 children getting water. So now they're trying to build a somewhat of a refugee camp to house these people. Why? Because y'all playing target practice to them as they're going to get aid. Now all of a sudden y'all care. Why are y'all caring now? Because y'all gonna say at the last minute, well, Hamas has infiltrated the camp, and now we've got them all surrounded in one area, and we can do what we want. That is controlling the population. That is exactly what they want to do. They said it aims to provide safety, shelter, food, aid distribution, and possibly encourage volunteer immigration. You got me fucked up. Immigration. That means possibly making them leave. They want them to migrate. Migrate their ass right through Egypt. That's a setup. That is a setup for the masses. That's the setup. And the estimated cost is going to be between $2 and $4.5 billion. You guess who's going to pay for that? Because Israel gets everything from us. So that's going to be part of our taxpayers' money. That's going to be part of our taxpayers' money. That's going to be us paying for this shit. That's going to be us. Now, the major concerns, because people are calling this shit out, the major concerns is ethnic cleansing, concentration camp parallels, okay? They think that this is going to be part of their ethnic cleansing. And yes, Israel is committing a Holocaust. I don't call it a genocide. I call it a Holocaust. They're trying to ethnically cleanse out a whole race of people that they don't deem as human. Hell, most Jews in Israel don't believe anybody is human but them, but that's besides the point. They are actively creating a Holocaust. They're doing this. And I'm calling it a Holocaust because I don't think Jews and Zionists really understand the scale of what they're doing and how they're actually moving. I don't think they grasp that scale because they don't see Palestinian people as human, just like some white people don't see us as human. So I get it. It's way past, it's a Holocaust. And that's how I form this. I don't form it as a G side because they don't get G side. But they'll be very offended if you say Holocaust. They'll be very offended that they're creating the same thing that happened to them. No different. So they said former PM Oud Al-Mert, opposition to leaders like Yair Lapid and human rights advocates argue that it resembles concentration camps or forced displacement city, citing the prohibitions of residents leaving. International backlash. The UN, Arab League, NGOs, and legal experts warn the plan breaches international law and forced transfers. So no one's really with this shit at all. Security and logistic hurdles. The IDF and the military leadership, including Chief of Staff El Zamir, have described the plan as unworkable, too costly, time-consuming, and a distraction from the current military goals, which is to annihilate the whole Palestinian population. You know, it takes away from them actually being able to hurt people. That's just it. It takes away from them actually being able to hurt people. Thank you, Z. The current status is the proposal was raised by the Defense Ministry in Israel and discussed in Benny's cabinet, but has no concrete blueprint. It's been shelved or sidelined due to strong intentional objections, both military and politically. But I am not putting it past them to try to do this anyways, because anything to get rid of the Palestinian people, anything to remove them from their home, that is the main goal of them. And ooh, baby, I hate it for them. I hate it for them. Hold on, I'm pulling something up. So when it comes to France, they've decided to start accepting people in Gaza for subsidiary protection. It will be refugee status. I don't know how long it's going to happen. I don't know how long the refugee status is going to last, but they accepted it and they decided that on the 11th of 2025. So I really hope that some Palestinians, especially the ones with babies and kids, I hope the ones with children are able to get out, because those are the ones that we need to really preserve. Babies and children need to be preserved because they're going to carry on. They're going to remember this time. They need to be alive to be able to tell these stories. I know we are recording it, but those children have first-hand experience. They're going to remember this for the rest of their life. So I hope that at least the kids can get out. If no one else can, let them get out. Now, there are some bills being pushed. Senator Josh Hawley, who was against the big beautiful bill but still voted for the bill, he is introducing a bill to reverse Medicaid. He's introducing a bill to reverse Medicaid cuts. You could have just voted no. You could have voted no. You could have voted no. But you knew Missouri was going to be hit like a bitch because this bill was going through. He knew that. He knew that. He knew he messed up. He knew that. And you could have voted no. All we needed was 2 more, y'all. You could have voted no. But now you're going to act like Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm sorry. We already know you voted yes. Now you're trying to add amendments. So the bill was introduced yesterday. What will the bill do? Repeals the provider tax moratorium. The current moratorium limits states' ability to levy provider taxes. So used to fund Medicaid, particularly rural hospitals. He's trying to reverse that. He is in Missouri. Missouri is a very rural place. It's not big city life, okay? There's not a city bouncing. In rural hospitals, over 300 rural hospitals in the United States will be cut because of this bill. Over 300 rural hospitals will be cut because of this bill. So he's trying to save his state's hospitals and other states, I guess. He wants to restore provider tax authority and reconciliation bill. It would specifically undo the provisions in the fiscal package that reduces provider tax authorization, dropping the cap from 6% to 3.5%, reclaiming the ability for states, basically saying that we get more tax cuts in order to keep these hospitals open. He wants to prevents future Medicaid hospitals from funding cuts. Medicaid actually pays for a lot of hospitals to stay open. Medicaid actually pays for a lot of hospitals to stay open, especially rural hospitals. Because a lot of people, especially people that have kids that are pregnant, they use Medicaid to pay off their bills. Anybody that is on Medicaid that is mentally disabled or has like diabetes or unable to work or can barely do movement, all of that pays bills in that hospital every time they go there. And without people on Medicaid, those hospitals can't stay open. So he's trying to make sure that that does not happen. It's sneaky time strategy. It is, because the one big beautiful bill backload nearly $1 trillion in Medicaid cuts, set to roll back gradually. Provider tax cuts starting in 2028. Eligibility by late 28, and rollouts will start on 2026. So y'all was like, oh, this is not going to happen for a couple of years. No, it's going to start next year. We're going to start seeing the effect of the big beautiful bill next year. Yes, it's going to start hitting us during midterms, and that is the time that y'all asses better be voting. Y'all asses better be voting out every Republican that voted for this bill. Every Republican needs to go that voted for this bill, because they didn't give a shit about y'all safety. They cared about staying on their knees for Donald Trump. They didn't care about that. They didn't. Not at all. And we know that he flip-flopped. Now, I'm not going to lie. Holly was not on the side of this bill in the beginning. He did flip-flop, but eventually he caved, like most Republicans did. They all caved to Trump. We know that. They don't have a backbone when it comes to this man. I don't know how. It's not like he can catch you. His ankles are swollen as fuck. But I'm sorry. They were all scared of him, so they backed up. So the reason Josh Hawley is introducing this, oh, that's cool. Missouri Medicaid programs serve at least 1.2 million people of his population. That's 20% of his population relies on Medicaid. 20% of his population relies directly on Medicaid. That is sad. Oh, thank you, Rush Connor. And restoring the provider tax revenue could mean hundreds of $millions more for state hospitals, especially in rural areas. Okay. He's trying to defend the working class America in rural healthcare, distancing himself from the broader Medicaid overhaul. So he's worried about the little people. If you were worried about the little people, then the little people would have mattered when it was time to vote on this bill. They would have mattered. Sorry, y'all. It's getting hot under here. It's getting really hot. Oof, okay. Now, how it fits the broader policy. This bill serves as a target reversal of Medicaid specific provisions within a larger reconciliation package without challenging the tax cuts. He doesn't want to challenge the tax cuts. So, let's just say us under the 80%. The 80% of this country that's going to pay everybody's taxes, that's the 1% above, will not be paying. So the 20% in America, oh, thank you. The 20% in America will not be paying taxes. So he don't want to fuck with that, because he's in that 20% era. So he doesn't want to touch the tax cuts, okay? Other provisions like student loans and shit like that, he don't want to touch that. or budget components. In essence, he wants to preserve provider tax capacity, funding parity for rural hospitals, and a firewall against budget rollbacks for Medicaid. Other than that, he don't want nothing else to change. Now, the standalone legislation, it must be cleared in the Senate and the House. Okay? Now, you know who's going to have a problem with this, right? Frumpy. Because what does that do? It takes money out of the people who provided him the chance to run for election. That's going to take money out of the rich people's hands. No matter how much money it is, it's going to take money. Reversing this is going to take money out of his hands. So, and it has to be signed by Donald Trump. It has to be signed by him. He can send it back if he wants. He doesn't have to sign. You think that man is going to sign anything to protect Americans? I'm just asking for a friend. You think he's going to sign anything to help elderly people, children with disabilities, rural hospitals, the people that vote for him the most, which is the uneducated and the ones that didn't pass high school, the ones in the Midwest and these rural areas? And that's the fucked up part about it. He won by the less educated, and majority of them are in the Midwest and rural areas, and they're the ones that's about to be hit the most. That is crazy. That is some crazy work. That is some crazy work, because they're the ones that's going to be affected more than anybody else. That is some crazy work, and he is not going to protect them. Yeah, I went to high school. I went to college. I even went to grad school. I have 2 certifications. I'm a smarty. Somebody asked me, did I even graduate high school? That was cute. So, given Josh Hawley's positioning and the rural hospital funding, it could gain bipartisanship traction, though it would require pushing back on parts of the major bill that Republicans view as central. So he may have the Democrats when it comes to this bill, but the hard Republicans that are up Trump's ass, like toilet paper, those are the ones he's going to have to slice. Those are the ones he's going to have to slice with. And I don't know if that's going to be possible. But we shall see. This is going to be interesting to see what Trump is going to do. I'm very curious to see if that's actually a possibility. I'm not too sure. But hey, what can we do at this point? So I just want to let y'all know, Andrew Cuomo is a part of Benny's legal team. Benny Netanyahu, yeah. He's part of his legal team in the International Criminal Court. He will be representing Benny during his court hearings about what he's doing to Palestinians. This is one reason why y'all should not vote this man in office. If there was no other reason, that is one reason not to vote for this man. And he is running as an independent in New York. Do not give this man that office. He's going to put Jewish people in Israel first, and everybody else is going to come last. This is America. It should be America first. That's one thing I do agree when it comes to Republicans. I actually agree with y'all. It's supposed to be America first. But what America are we looking at? Are we just looking at one set of Americans? Because yes, there are Jewish Americans, but those are not the Americans those are not the Jewish people he's catering to. He's catering to the Jewish people in Israel. He's catering to them. He's not catering to Jewish Americans, because a lot of Jewish Americans don't like the shit that's going on in Israel. Some of them do, some of them don't. So who is he catering to? He is bought and paid for. Don't fall for that shit. That man is bought and paid for. Now, there is something that is coming down the pipeline, and I want y'all to pay attention to it. AOC and Representative Joe, why do my things keep vibrating at the same time? So weird. So Representative AOC and Representative Ro Khan have introduced a bill. It is called the Universal Health Care Act, and it is for states to introduce this. So every state will have their own Universal Health Care Act. I am not trying to be on nobody's panel, which I think is great, because then everybody gets to choose. So what does the bill entail? It creates a super waiver under the Affordable Care Act to allow individual states to design and run their own universal health care systems, okay, including single payer models, which while receiving federal funding and regulatory flexibility. I am for that. I'm definitely for that. States can access and pull federal funds from Medicare, Medicaid, CHIP, and ACA subsidized and exchanges. Okay, TRICARE, FEBHP, ERISA by opting in through waiver programs. I think that'll be better than everybody losing their health care. I think that'll be better than everybody losing their health care. Honestly, I fuck with that the long way. So the key requirements for states: coverage of targets, reach at least 95% of residents covered within 5 years, and with a plan of full coverage after that. Benefit standards: must offer benefits equal to or more generous than the current federal programs, which means that people may start getting full coverage. You know, I think this is the closest we're going to get to anything being like universal health care and free health care. I think that's the closest thing we're going to get to free health care in America, because America is such a capitalist country that free is something that most people, especially the 1% aloha, will not want to hear. They don't want to hear that. They do not want to hear about free. Free is not something that the 1%, the 20% in this country want to hear. But this is the closest we can get to it. Accountability processes, independent expert review panels, public input opportunities, periodic progress reports, and technical assistance are built into the waiver systems. Now, here's the political outlook. Democrats generally view it as a state-driven innovation path towards universal coverage, okay? Republicans are expected to be cautious, especially given the structural use of federal dollars and regulatory waivers tied to the ACA. Success might hinge on the HHS Secretary's willingness to approve the waivers. Trump-era leadership historically denied such waivers, whereas under Biden, there's a greater openness. So waivers are only good when they go to rich white kids in private schools. When it comes to anything else, it's not a great idea. Actually, it'll be rural hospitals who suffer. Y'all keep thinking black hospitals are the ones that suffer. Rural hospitals suffer more. And I'm going to be real with you. There are a lot of black rural areas, but there are more white rural areas than black rural areas. Most of us tend to congregate near the cities. Some of us do stay on the outskirts, but baby, y'all the ones that's going to suffer. Do y'all not know red states are the ones that borrow from blue states? Red states need more money. You know, like Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, Idaho, Oklahoma. You know, them backwoods, cousin loving areas. Yeah. Y'all benefit from blue states. California pays more in taxes than they receive. Massachusetts pays more in taxes than they receive. Red states, y'all are poor. Poor as hell. Poor and uneducated. And so y'all need the handouts of blue states that y'all like to shit on so much because y'all can't afford to pay your own way. You can't afford to pay your own way. If blue states backed out of paying taxes to this country, y'all would be broke. Y'all would be broke. Y'all would have no funding. No federal funding would go to y'all. If California decided to say, fuck it, we ain't sending shit there. If Massachusetts said, fuck it, we ain't sending nothing. New York decided to do that. Hell, if Georgia decided to do that, which is, you know, kind of purplish, y'all would be broke. So while y'all sitting there talking about, oh, well, we're liberal in these woke states, these liberal and woke states is what keep y'all floating. And y'all too stupid to realize it. Being woke, which is not even y'all term. I hate when white folks steal shit from black folks. I really hate it. But woke is a term that black folks used back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s when police were around and we didn't see them. We would tell each other to stay woke because there were police in our areas and for us to keep our head on a swivel. Y'all so dumb, y'all use the word wrong just so y'all can feel better. Woke doesn't mean what you think it means. And if it does, that means we staying educated. We're staying prepared. We understand what's coming down the pipeline. Y'all choose to be blind. That is not our fault. Y'all choose to be blind. And this is why y'all voted the way y'all voted. This is why they have to put amendments in and introduce bills, because y'all dumbasses fell for the okie doke. Now y'all about to lose all your rural funding. So all these woke states with the liberals and the leftists and the open invitation for everybody to be who they are and love who they are and be who they want to be, those states provide y'all rural, non-educated, two front teeth, cousin loving states the funding y'all need to be uneducated and never go anywhere. They fund that. They fund y'all to be racist and stay in y'all towns. They fund that. They fund y'all to be uneducated, never progress, still vote the same people in every time and think that y'all doing better than everybody else. They fund that. They actually let y'all be who y'all are. I'm just saying, I wouldn't be reading this shit if it wasn't true. The Nile is a river in Egypt, bitch. Y'all need to wake up. If y'all love to use the word woke so much, why don't y'all wake the fuck up? Wake up. Your Republican senators and governors and House representatives don't give a shit about y'all. Long as y'all keeping them rich. Long as y'all keeping them rich. Then you got people like AOC trying to introduce bills so y'all still have health care coverage. Because let's be real, most of y'all backwoods people are on Social Security. Y'all on Medicaid. Y'all on disability. Y'all live in a trailer park with no air conditioning behind a rock road. Y'all got one general store and one stoplight. Your horse has more movement than your car. Where are y'all going to go? Y'all don't have the education to go into the big cities and actually make something for yourself. So you're going to be stuck in that city with that hospital that shut down, with that one light and a horse. How you going to get medical attention? How you going to get dental care? Once they shut down your hospital, how you going to get that funding? How you going to get your diabetes medication? How you going to get that surgery? Your blood pressure pills? Baby, it costs money to airlift. And by the time you try to drive 30 miles down the road, whoever's in that car with you may be gone. But y'all voted for this. This is what y'all asked for. And so you guys are receiving it. So that Universal Health Care Act bill, I hope y'all paying attention to it coming through. Oh, I really do. Hold on one second. I'm trying to... I don't want to log in.
I'm ready to hit the ground running. So if there's anything you'd like...
No, shut up. There's nothing I want. I have to... I thought I emailed it to myself, but I guess I didn't. What is this? Is this it? Ha! The recession bill. Pay attention. This recession bill is going through right now. Okay? I was looking for it. So, the recession bill is a legislative tool used to budget law that allows previously appropriated funds to be canceled. So everything that's already been approved, let's just say approved by Congress, approved by Biden before he left, those are up for a fight. So it's governed by the 1974 Congressional Budget and Impunitive Control Act, which gives presidents the power to propose recessions and Congress 45 days to approve them through an expedited process. So, no Senate filibuster, no Hakeem Jeffries sitting down at the bottom giving a long ass speech. None of that. Only a simple majority rule is required, which means we already know that the Republicans have the House and the Senate. Historically, this tool was used frequently, but fell into disuse after 2000. Only reviewed under President Trump. Trump is the only one that is using this shit, because usually when Congress approves budgets for certain areas in the government, they leave it alone. But Trump cannot. He's got to have his hands in everything. So, what's on the recession bill? $94 billion. $94 billion is up to be taken out of the recession bill. $9.4 billion Trump wants back. Now, this includes PEP, PrEP for HIV and AIDS, global health, humanitarian aid. Foreign aid is up to be taken. That's $8.3 million. Public broadcasting, PBS and NPR, that's $1.1 billion. Okay? Now, let me make something very clear. When your cable is shut off and there's a storm and a tornado coming and you only have a TV, PBS puts out information for you to catch. PBS lets you know where you can go for safety. It does not just provide educational shit. It actually saves lives as well. NPR, same thing. Trump is trying to remove that, which will fuck up rural states, rural cities. Because y'all don't even get cable like that. And one little wind will knock y'all satellite completely down. And what will y'all use then as a guidance to get to safety? Because you know what? Y'all don't have FEMA really. We barely got anybody watching the weather because Trump has cut that shit in half. PBS is the last leg you have to get information. And he's trying to slice that shit. He's also trying to slice the NPR, which provides PBS. And NPR is very important. This is for places that cannot get information as well, like islands, like small ass cities, like Kirk County that went through that horrible flooding and lost so many lives. They didn't even get a broadcasting. They barely got a heads up. Want to know why? Well, they decided not to accept Biden's funding to upgrade their weather broadcasting systems. But at the same time, they never got an alert. Never got an alert. How can you give an alert when there's no one really there to help? Because Trump has cut the funding. Y'all say this man is supposed to be great for America. He sure is fucking up a lot of shit. And I'm sorry, I'm going to be a little childish. I grew up on PBS. We didn't have cable growing up. I grew up watching Barney, Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, Arthur, Hey Franklin. I grew up watching Big Comfy Couch, Lamb Chops Play Along. I grew up watching that shit. I learned how to count by Count Dracula. I grew up watching that. That is vital to children. Children who are unable, white, black, yellow, orange, brown, who are unable to have the ability to have access to the internet. Reading Rainbow. Like all of that is vital to children's progressiveness. That is school after school. Literally school after school. No, I'm not 33. I'll be 40. But thank you for the fucking compliment. That is literally school after school. I learned a lot by watching Sesame Street. I learned a lot by watching these and even though I didn't know I was learning. And they're trying to rip that from kids. I know there's YouTube and shit like that, But this at the core is important, and it's vital for parents to fight for this shit. Y'all need to be making calls. Y'all need to be talking about this. Because if they decide to cut the budget, which is $1.1 billion from PBS and NPR, your children will no longer have access to the nostalgic education systems that we had growing up. They won't have that access. You'll have to find that shit on VHS or some shit like that. And that is sad that they want to cut educational shit. They are trying to dumb down the next generations that are coming up by any means necessary. There's one thing the Republican Party loves, and that's people who are uneducated. I know Republicans don't want to understand that. I know MAGA doesn't want to understand that, but that's just the goddamn truth. Republicans don't like educated, because the more you're educated, the more you realize how much they're stealing from you. You'll realize how much they're stealing from you because you are a taxpayer. And when they pull your Social Security, when they pull those Medicaids, that is pulling from your check. And you're no longer getting it. So my question is, since we're going to be paying into Medicaid still, and I'm still going to be paying into Social Security, I'm still going to be paying into government programs, where the fuck is that money going now? Y'all never asked that question? Since they slash in Medicaid and they slash in SNAP and they slash in Social Security, where the fuck is your money going? Y'all are too stupid to even ask that question. Why? Because y'all love this white man so much and he is y'all savior, to the point where you don't question. I question God. Why, Lord? Why am I going through this? If I can question God, you can question Trump. If I can ask God why I'm going down this goddamn path, you can ask Trump where your money's going. Y'all lost the plot. The more educated you are, the more you're leaning towards the blue. Because then you realize my money's being allocated here. And then you start questioning who is running your office. Then you start questioning your leaders. Then you start questioning people before you vote for them. Y'all don't question nobody. Y'all question at the last minute. Do you know you have 30 minutes? It is too late to question him. Now we got to worry about this shit. Now we got to worry about this. Yes, I believe in God. I also believe in my goddamn ancestors. And I will question anybody, including my Savior. I will ask the Lord why we going through this. Why this man is here for another 4 years. What did we do to deserve this? I sure damn do. I ask that goddamn question every day. God, what is the point? Why are we allowing this man to ruin the one good things that we do have in this country? Why? If you don't ask fucking questions, you damn sure won't get the answers. Y'all talking about, y'all don't even ask Trump questions. So why would I think that y'all actually ask God any damn thing? And yes, me and him have a good ass relationship. Sorry, y'all. My bad. So, the House passed this bill on June 12th, 214 to 212. So they're actually allowing this to happen. The Senate advanced it 51 to 50 with Vice President Vance casting the tie vote. This is the big, beautiful bill. Now, the repercussions and risk. The cuts would disrupt HIV/AIDS treatments, which we need. There is a country in Africa right now that is so close to curing AIDS. They're this close to curing AIDS, and their research was doing so well, and Trump pulled the funding. You want to know why? Because if we don't have people with AIDS, how the people who are making the medication just to subdue the AIDS get rich? How do we do that? Medicine is not made to cure. It's due to subdue. The pharmaceutical companies in this country, they don't make medicine to cure. They make medicine to subdue, so that we have to keep coming back. Trump literally cut funding for the cure for AIDS and HIV. That made a lot of pharmaceutical companies happy. That made a lot of them feel good. Reducing funding may force PBS and NPR stations to close, particularly in rural areas. Educational program, local news coverage, and emergency alerts could be compromised. You heard that? Local news. Your local news stations will have to shut down. Your emergency alerts will go bye-bye. So y'all in the hurricane areas and the tornado areas and the flash flood areas, y'all will not be getting notifications. Y'all will end up like Kerr County. And I know that's fucked up to say, but Kerr County is going to be on repeat. It is going to be on repeat if this is cut. If these fundings are cut, y'all are not going to be able to get access to help. No access. Y'all won't hear shit. If they cut this from us. I don't live in a rural city, but I have grandparents that live out after they've retired. They sit on land. My grandfather is an ex-Marine, and he has a shitload of land, and he stays away from everybody. And my grandmother lives there as well. They live in a small town. They're going to need access to that shit. I'm just worried about my people in general that live in these small areas that rely on their local news stations. That is going to be cut. Short-term fiscal savings are modest. Long-term effects are threatening. Institutional credibility, global strategic influence, and effectiveness in aid operations. That means there's no peacekeeping. Yes, peacekeeping missions are gone. You know how y'all like to say America saves everybody? They won't be saving nobody anymore. There will be no peacekeeping missions. Okay, everything will be fucked. All right. The UN may stop contributing to us. Whatever contributions the UN, they may leave us out of it. Humanitarian relief, gone. We're no longer, the America that saves everybody, or we even look like we're saving people. We're literally just floating in the wind. Now, the political and constitutional dynamics of this, the recession bypassed the 60-vote Senate filibuster, allowing passage with similar majorities, nuclear options. Republicans will be tested. They will test their loyalty to Trump. They're going to have to test their loyalty to Trump. Are they going to be loyal to their communities that voted them in? Or are they going to be loyal to him? Because I'm sorry, the Republicans are not loyal to their people. Majority of the Republicans are not loyal to the people that put them in office. They are loyal to Trump. They don't give a fuck what happens to y'all. They don't care. All they care about is if Trump shuns them or not. They're not looking at the back end when it's time for midterms and they vote against everything that y'all actually need to stay alive. Because they know that y'all are not going to vote against them. Y'all going to keep them in office. They know that. And that is a sad part, because I've seen Republicans in their spots for years that have done nothing for their states. Oklahoma, Louisiana, Kentucky, Mississippi, Alabama. They ain't done shit for y'all. Y'all still at the bottom of every totem pole. And y'all keep voting them back in. For what? I don't know. I have no clue, because they're not loyal to y'all. They're loyal to Trump. It's insane. It is insane. I don't get it. It's like kicking yourself every damn time. Every time. And then we have to deal with shit like this. Critics warn it undermines bipartisan budget negotiations, potentially triggering government shutdowns. Hey, how many times have we been on the brink of a government shutdown? How many times have we seen the government shut down? Let's just be real. Government shutdowns are normal at this point. That means somebody's at a standstill and nobody wants to fucking move. I'm with it. Legal and constitutional concerns. The administration has argued that the Impounded Control Act is unconstitutional, raising risk of court challenges. It's not unconstitutional to give funding that'll allow people to keep their lives flowing and keep people safe. There's nothing wrong with wanting to keep people safe. So, the next steps. Senate will vote. They will vote the final passage. House concurrence accepting the Senate amendments. President's signature, enactment. The deadline is in 2 days. The deadline is in 2 days. They're going to fast track this. $9.4 billion gone. They're going to fast track it. The only thing I can tell y'all, because I don't think calling your representatives are going to work. I think publicly shaming them is what's going to have to happen. I am sick of it. I think public shaming is what's going to happen. Y'all are going to have to start making videos and publicly shaming your Republican representatives out of voting out of this. Threaten to out them. Threaten to take their seat. Threaten to replace them. Let them know that midterms are coming. And when it is time for them to be voted in again, they will not have that seat. We cannot call anymore. We have to start publicly shaming them. Let them know that, hey, you fuck up, you're going to go broke. We will make sure that you have no peace. You will never get another seat in the state. I'm not trying to get people madder than what they are. I'm trying to get people to see what the fuck is actually happening. A lot of lives are going to be lost if y'all lose these broadcasting systems. A lot of lives. We are in the middle of fucking tornado and hurricane season. We don't have time to lose any kind of broadcasting whatsoever. We don't have the time to lose that shit. This ain't the season to be sitting on our ass. You see what happened in Kerr County? 90 people lost their lives. That can happen everywhere. It's just publicly shame their ass. Whoever is running, whoever is in your fucking seats in the Senate, if you are in a Republican state and you have a Republican senator, it is time to start calling them out on social media, dragging their pages for filth, letting them know that if they pass this recession and it goes in effect and y'all lose access to your local broadcasting systems, your children lose access to their educational programs. Y'all lose access to emergency systems that will allow y'all to understand what the fuck is happening when it comes to the weather. Then that's going to be on y'all. I can only give the information out. I can only give the information out. Hell, fuck it. Ted Cruz ass, where the hell was he? He was in fucking Greece or something, living his best life. Like, he didn't hop a plane to come back quickly. He ain't never I ain't never seen Cruz be on the ground when there's something happen. He always flees. Last time it was what, Puerto Rico? He left y'all and went to Puerto Rico? Yeah. That's it. That is exactly it. He left y'all and went to Puerto Rico. That is great. Speaking of great, 2/3 of the lawyers that are supposed to be helping Trump, Cancun, my bad. 2/3 of the Trump lawyers that are supposed to be helping him with birthright citizenship and, tearing shit down. 2/3 of them have quit the DOJ. They have quit. They have left. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but they have left the city. They're no longer a part of his association. But there's something I want y'all to pay attention to that has happened that I mentioned yesterday, but I didn't go in depth to. The Department of Justice has removed words like justice from the website. They have removed words like justice from the Department of Justice website. Can someone see my page privately out of here? So yes, during the Trump administration, there were multiple reports of certain federal agencies, including the Department of Justice, making changes to their websites, including removing and downplaying words like justice, civil rights, environmental justice, modifying language about civil rights protections, especially LGBTQ plus immigration, voting rights, and removing public access to certain data or policy guidance. This is something that an authoritative state will do. This is authoritarian. This is when people start seeing the authoritarians start stepping up in dictatorship. Trump just said on a live mic that he wants Americans to treat him like Kim Jong-un. He said that on a live mic. He said when Kim Jong-un stands, everybody applauds and bows. I want Americans to do that to me. I want Americans to do that to me. I want Americans to treat me like Kim Jong-un gets treated. Kim Jong-un is a fucking dictator. He's a dictator. And you know what? And no matter what I see about MAGA and the Republicans, I know y'all like y'all fucking freedom. I know y'all like y'all freedom. I know y'all don't like to be told what to do. I know that one thing about y'all. Y'all believe in freedom. This shit ain't freedom. This ain't freedom, sweetheart. No, but you're a Trump loyalist, so what's the point? Why are you even in here? If you're a Trump loyalist, you don't listen to facts. You don't listen to facts. If you're a Trump loyalist, you don't listen to facts. You have Trump 2024. Why are you even in here? This is not a place for you. You're not willing to be educated. You want to be willfully stupid. That's not my fault. So they're modifying their language. They're removing public access. The DOJ Civil Rights Division website has been removed. That references police reform, LGBTQ plus protections, and racial justice. Sections highlighting civil rights enforcements are gone as well and have been re-edited. In some cases, archived Obama-era content was replaced with vague generalization language. They trying to wipe Obama off of this bitch. They've already removed Martin Luther King from the White House. They've already removed Martin Luther King. You see where it's going. So the Civil Rights Division homepage promptly featured voting rights, police reform, LGBTQ plus rights, disability rights, educational equality, and environmental justice. Their sections are now dedicated to community policing efforts, consent decrees, local law enforcement, and data and reporting on hate crimes and misconduct. All those are gone. After the early update, LGBT plus content disappeared and was removed. Police reform efforts were quietly eliminated. A major section on reforming police practices removed. A consent decree documentation, agreements in cities to reform their law enforcement was made hard to access. Gone. Language around environmental justice erased. Civil rights landing page neutral. Makeover. The tone shifted. And active enforcement to basic information text. Nothing is there. Public access, gone. You can't even access. Like educators and local officials lost guidance. The toolkits are gone. Policy briefs are gone. FAQs are gone. Statistics and annual reports on police misconduct, hate crimes, social civil rights enforcements have been outdated because they have not updated it. They're gone. They are literally eliminating the fabrication of the United States and what we have grown and progressed into. When I said last year that Make America Great Again means taking us back to the Jim Crow era, or even to the industrial period, was going to be harmful to everyone who is not part of the 1%, the 20%. I said that last year during this part. I said that. And that's because white people really thought that they weren't going to be in this shit. You are not rich. You are barely making it just like the rest of us. You are not a part of the 1% of the 20% in this goddamn country. You are part of the 80%. And with that, you're going to suffer with the rest of us. With that, you're going to suffer. Because the industrial age didn't give a fuck about the middle class or the lower class. The industrial age was specifically built on the backs of the middle class and the lower class to keep what? The 20% in America rich. And when y'all finally decided to make unions and fight against what the industrial age was creating, which was making y'all poor and sick in those factories, these rich ass 20% of America took their shit across the seas to Vietnam, to China, where they knew they could exploit the workers there. Why you think there's no factories here anymore? Because they cannot afford to pay y'all what y'all deserve to work in their factories, to breathe in those chemicals, and to not have health care or decent pay to provide a life for your children. That is where he's trying to take us back to. That is where he wants us back at. And yes, that was also part of, the Jim Crow and the racist era as well. But I'm speaking to white folks in particular, because they the ones that's going to get hit because they thought they were safe. That's what I'm speaking to. Because white people thought that they were safe when this man got in office and he said he wanted to make America great again. He said, I want to make America great again. And they heard white again. They heard white again. But they didn't say which part of white they were talking about. Were they talking about the time where black people were enslaved and white people were still poor? And in order to divide y'all from us, they had to let y'all know that y'all was white, even though y'all was poor, and they wasn't going to help y'all. Even though y'all were poor, y'all were still white. But we going to still keep y'all poor because we don't want y'all to come up, but we don't want y'all to be with them. Are they talking about that time? Are they talking about the time where y'all went to war and your wives had to work and take care of the kids? And then government assistance came a part of a thing? And when y'all came back, most of y'all couldn't get jobs. Hell, fuck the black folks. We weren't even considered. But most of y'all didn't have jobs to come back to. Are they talking about the times where y'all were working in those factories and y'all finally were able to get jobs, but y'all had no health care? Y'all were working minimum wage. Y'all were getting sick, working 20-hour shifts with no help. Are they talking about that time? Because what time are they talking about where the middle class and the lower class actually prevailed if they did not have a college education? Majority of y'all don't have college educations that voted for Trump. A large percentage of y'all don't have college educations. You can't walk into a bank and get a job. You can't walk into a corporate building and get a job unless you're the janitor or you're cleaning the goddamn toilets. He wants y'all back in factories. He wants your children stupid so they go right behind you and work in factories. He wants to dismantle the education system so your kids will start working earlier on life instead of getting the education they deserve and they need in order to get those jobs in those corporate buildings wearing those goddamn suits, or have the knowledge to start their own businesses. That's what making America great again means to him. Having more workers than thinkers. The one thing that man cannot take from y'all is your education. Oops, yes he can. Because y'all voted for it. Y'all want the states to control your education, which means most red states will put the Bible and the 10 Commandments and a cross on all schools. And you will learn about the Bible more than you learn about math, science, history, English. You will learn more about the Bible, which is going to indoctrinate your children to go straight into the workforce and not even want to continue education because they barely learned anything any goddamn way. They barely learned anything any goddamn way. Then you really are going to be backwoods, Bible thumping, uneducated MFs. You really are going to be that. This is what Make America Great Again looks like for y'all. Because one thing we're going to do as a community and black community is we're still going to educate our kids. Most of the shit that I learned in high school was not black history. And I went to an inner city school. I didn't learn shit about black history. I learned that we were slaves and that was it. And when we were free. And I didn't even learn the right date when we were free. I learned most of my education about my people and how much we've contributed to this country by my own family and going to an historically black college. Y'all, on the other hand, y'all not even going to teach y'all kids. Y'all going to tell them to fall in line. And this is the new America dream. This is the new American dream. And let's be real. Y'all ain't got nowhere to go. If shit does hit the fan, there are probably going to be 10 to 20 countries outside of this country in Africa that's going to invite us in. And y'all won't be welcomed. Y'all will have to suffer through what that man has planned for y'all. We, on the other hand, we will get an extradition. We will be able to leave. We will happily leave. If that is our last resort, we have somewhere to go. Y'all don't. Y'all gonna be forced to be that man's bitches. Hell, y'all was that when y'all voted for him. That's what y'all was when y'all voted for him. Speaking of tourism, if you are a tourist, a student, or a temporary worker, starting 2026, it will cost you $500 to get a visa. $500 to get a visa. I wouldn't even come here. I would not even come here. $500 to get a visa. Yeah, Mexico will welcome black people with open arms. They won't welcome the white folks, but they will welcome us. Sorry, not sorry. Y'all fucked up when y'all decided that y'all were gonna vote for that man. But they know where we stand. We love the culture. But yeah, if you are a foreigner, it's going to cost you $500 to get a visa now. Now, if you are a part of Nigeria, Cameroon, Ethiopia, and what's the other state? I'm looking for the other state. Ghana, Cameroon, Ethiopia, and Nigeria. For countries like y'all will only get a 3-month visa. Yes. So the United States has introduced a major change in its visa for policies for Cameroon, Ethiopia, Ghana, and Nigeria. Under the new laws, most travelers from these countries, unless they are diplomats, will now only be eligible for a single entry visa that is valid for just 3 months. 3 months. This is a significant departure from the previous system where people get visas for multiple entries, longer periods. Sorry, y'all. However, the Nigerian government has pushed back, saying it gives Americans 5-year multiple entry passes. A visa spokesperson said for President Bola, it don't even matter. I wouldn't come here. Y'all, the American dream is bullshit. It's never been the American dream. The American dream now for most Americans is getting the fuck out this country. I will not be retiring here. I damn sure will be getting my dual citizenship somewhere. I don't know where yet, but I will not be retiring here. I will not. And for all you white folks that are saying you should leave too. This is not your country. You should leave too. It's not yours. The only people that should stay here are Mexicans and Native Americans. This ain't your land. You stole it. You should leave too. You should do a DNA test and find out what part of Europe your ass belongs to and get the fuck on. Go back to Scotland, Ireland, Europe, France, Italy. Don't go to Australia because that ain't your place. They look more like us than you. Y'all just diluted the place. Y'all whitewashed the fuck out of it to the point where y'all think that y'all actually are natives of Australia. You're not. That's a whole fucking island. A whole island. No, that is not y'all place. A whole Transylvania. I like that one. Yeah, take your ass back to Transylvania. Go back to Russia, Germany. There are plenty of countries that y'all belong to. This ain't it. Native lands, Native Americans. Natives. Y'all are not native to this land. I'm not native to this land. Mexicans and Native Americans are native to this land. This is their home. It's not yours. Just because you steal it doesn't make it yours. Hell, I wish Native Americans would have took all y'all out as soon as y'all got off that goddamn boat. I'm so... Native Americans, I blame y'all for this shit. Y'all should have... They asses as soon as they got off the boat. Y'all shouldn't even ask them any goddamn questions. We would not be here if y'all wasn't so fucking welcome. God damn it. Y'all should have took all their asses out. Nope. Turn around. This ain't for us. I'm just saying. Maybe Christopher Columbus would have got lost somewhere else. Shit. Like he claimed this country. We came here, shit. We traded and got our asses back home. I'm just saying, y'all. I'm for real. I'm for real. I'm just, you know what? Now, Fox News host Greg Gutfeld, I don't know if y'all heard this, but I'm gonna let y'all hear it. Because I think it's important.
This is why the criticism doesn't matter to us when you call us Nazis. Nazi this, Nazi that. You know, I'm beginning to think they don't like us. You know what? I've said this before. We need to learn from the blacks. The way they were able to remove the power from the N-word by using it. So from now on, it's what up, my Nazi? Hey, what up, my Nazi? Hey, what's hanging, my Nazi? Nazi, please. Thank God you did a hard eye there. What does it tell you, though? This is why the criticism doesn't matter.
So now white folks want to be Nazis. So now white folks want to be Nazis. They want to claim that word. The blacks. They want to take the word back like the blacks did in the N-word. They want to take the word back like the blacks did the N-word. Let me make something very clear. The word nigger was used as a racial slur to dehumanize black people in this country, African descendants of this country, because we weren't considered African Americans yet. We were considered blacks or colored. It was to dehumanize us. And we took that shit back and we whooped everybody's ass that did. And I think we need to go back to doing that. I don't think y'all need to be having discussions and trying to be nice about it. I encourage it. I encourage y'all to whoop their asses and stop being nice about it. Stop being nice about that word. Stop. Because back then they were scared of us and they were damn sure scared to use that word in our presence. Now you got people on live doing fucking podcasts and using that word frankly. Like, y'all need to start whooping ass and stop playing. For real. I grew up in an era where if anybody said that didn't look like me, they got their dome rocked. Y'all being too soft nowadays with these people. Way too soft. Now, comparing that word to a Nazi sounds about white. Nazis were ethnic cleansers. They believed in one race. Blue-eyed, blonde hair. They believed in being purity. They believed in wiping out the Jewish people. They believe they're the only ones that deserve to be in Germany. And they did it at all costs, branding them, beating them, separating from their kids, gas chambering them, putting them in concentration camps. And that's what white folks want to be now in America. Y'all kind of there already. Y'all have already started opening camps for immigrants that don't look like y'all. Y'all already racial profiling. Just because you're brown and you speak Spanish, you're being picked up now and put into a cage. Y'all already saying that people that don't look like y'all don't deserve to have certain things like healthcare or education. Y'all already turning into Nazis. Right along with the Jewish people in Israel. So this form fits y'all, but don't get it twisted. We are not that. We've never decidedly took out anybody. We've never took out a whole race of people. We've never put anybody in camps. We ain't never done nothing like that here on this country. The only thing black folks have ever asked for is equal rights and for y'all to leave us the fuck alone, which y'all can't do. Y'all wanted us to get on our own 2 feet. We built cities, y'all burned them down because y'all was jealous. Y'all wanted us to have our own station. We had our own station. Y'all got mad. Y'all went in, y'all bought it so y'all could whitewash it. We have our own universities. Y'all got mad. That's not fair. We need to infiltrate them. Anytime black people have tried to get away from white folks and just be by themselves, y'all have found a way to destroy it. Every chance y'all got. So who can't leave who alone? It's like a disease. Y'all so hell-bent on making everybody miserable, and y'all think that's going to make y'all feel good. Now y'all want to be compared to Nazis. I wonder how the Jewish community that y'all claim is running the banks are going to feel about this. I wonder why. I wonder how they're going to feel about that. Y'all, Caucasian people in this country are closer to Nazis than anybody else, besides the people in Israel committing a Holocaust in Palestine. Y'all go hand in hand. So now, if y'all want to be called Nazis, by all means, have it. Have it. Y'all can have that shit. But don't dare compare it to nigga. Don't ever compare it to a racial slur that black people took back and took power over. Don't ever compare it to that, because that ain't it, baby. That ain't it. Go ahead and call yourself, and go ahead and do the sign too. All hail Hitler. Go ahead. Have fun with that. See how far you make it in this world. See how far you make it in this world doing that. Because you better stay your ass in the United States, and you better stay in certain areas. Because, baby, that's not going to fly everywhere. It's not going to fly everywhere. But good luck. And this is Fox News. This is what Fox News is. It's a joke. Fox News is a damn joke. It is definitely a joke, and it should be studied. Now, speaking of jokes, Mike Johnson made it very clear that Trump is the fruits of the divine providence. These are not my words. These are Mike Johnson, always on his knees, Speaker of the House. Trump's life is the fruits of the divine. God miraculously saved the president's life. It is undeniable. No. The whole assassination was a setup. It was fake. Your ear can't heal within 2 or 3 weeks. That's impossible, especially at his age. He wears makeup on his hands now to cover up his bruises. He's wearing makeup on his hand now to cover up his bruises. His ankles are swelling. He cannot heal that quickly. No 80-something-year-old heals that quickly. It was fake. It was set up because he was losing momentum. Whatever happened to that boy that was on top of that roof, that was unalived? Where is he? Did they ever have a funeral for him? Where's the funeral? Because there would have been a funeral for him. Somebody would have recorded that shit of him being put in the ground. Never seen a funeral. Where was it? I'm asking. Where was the funeral? Did they have a funeral? I'm asking. But he feels that Trump is the fruits of the divine providence. What the fuck does that even mean? Fruits of the divine providence? I'm sorry. We don't even talk about Barack like that. We are not so fucking caught up on one person. We don't even talk about Barack like that. Have y'all noticed that no person that's on the left or a Democrat or a liberal ever praises anybody like that? We've never done that. We've never praised anybody like that. Y'all act like this man is the closest thing to God. He's trying to call him God. That is blasphemy. That is blasphemy. If you think this man is the divine fruits of providence and God's miraculous savior, what the is wrong with y'all? False prophets. Y'all are following a false prophet. And he's going to lead y'all to the straight gates of hell. The way y'all are loyal to this man, y'all should be loyal to God. And if y'all were loyal to God, y'all would not be looking at this man the way y'all are looking at him, because now you are worshiping a man and not worshiping God. Are we going back to the Roman days where we worship false idols and, Hercules and Aphrodites and shit? I feel like that's where y'all at. I think God did say that there will be a false prophet that y'all will start following. I think there is something like that out there that, I don't really be fucking with the Bible like that because it's not the real Bible. It's not the Ethiopian Bible. I don't really fuck with it like that. But I do know that there is a passage that said that y'all will be following behind a false prophet. And y'all will be fooled. And this is it. The way y'all talk about this man, y'all speak of him as if he's like the second coming of Jesus, and he's not. He's not the second coming of God. He's not the divine. He's not any of that. He is a man, and he's going to die soon. He's 80-something years old. He won't outlive everybody. Even though they do say evil people live longer, which I do believe that. I don't think he has that much time. I am praying for a heart attack or a stroke. Something, God. Give me something. I'm a Sagittarius. I only can keep it real. Let him swing his last golf club. Let him go out the way he want to go out on the golf course. Oh, I'm with it. Let it happen naturally. Let it happen naturally. That makes me evil? Nope, it makes me a realist. Realistically, let's be real. Certain people have to leave this earth in order for this earth to be good. Napoleon had to go in order for this earth to be good. Caesar had to go in order for this earth to be good. There are certain people in this world that need to go in order for this earth to be safe. He is one of them. He's a false god, a false ideology that y'all are worshiping. And he needs to go. Black people don't even worship Obama. We don't worship anybody but God. Y'all worship a man. Something is wrong with y'all. Y'all worship a man who bleeds the same way you do. There is something wrong with y'all. And a lot of y'all need to start checking yourselves, because y'all are worshiping somebody who is a false god. He's not that man. And y'all have put this false god into office thinking that he was the closest thing to Jesus Christ, and he's far from it. Hell, I don't even think he's the devil. Demon, maybe. Maybe. But y'all put that man in power. And y'all gonna have to answer to God when it's time. You think Satan don't want him? You know what? It could be. It could happen. I don't put it past that. I do not. This man wants to be praised. But y'all call him God, but this man burned 500 metric tons of food. He let 500 tons of metric food rot instead of sending it to children in Afghanistan and Pakistan. 1.5 million children are going hungry because this man said, I don't want to feed you at all. Ain't that insane? Is that godly like? I could have sworn God, he fed everybody. Jesus fed everybody. This man let 500 metric tons of food go bad so he did not have to send it to children to eat for a week. 1.5 million children would have had food for a week to eat. And he let it, that motherfucker is evil. He is evil. Evil. I don't have a violation. Violations don't come out like that. I have a violation, it'll show on my page. That's somebody just trolling. That's evil. But that's who y'all worship. And y'all never getting those Epstein files, even though Mike Johnson has asked for them. Mike Johnson calls for the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files. I'm for full transparency. We should put everything out there and let people decide. Pam Bondi needs to come forward and explain it to the American people. Y'all think they're going to get... They've already voted. Republicans already voted for y'all not to get those files. Republicans have already voted for y'all not to get those files. So I don't know how that is going to happen, because it's already been voted a no. Democrats tried to get the files released. Republicans said no. And the way they backtrack, it'd be crazy. The way they backtrack is insane. For all my spiritual baddies, this is for y'all. I don't know what y'all gonna do with it, but this is for y'all, for all my spiritual baddies. Paranormal investigator Dan Riviera, 54, is unalived on a Haunted Annabelle tour. He built the protective box himself. So, he passed away suddenly while hosting the Devils on the Run tour in Gettysburg, featuring the infamous Annabelle doll, known for working with the New England Society of Psychic Research and mentoring. He was mentored by Lorraine Warren. Riviera told attendees he built the doll's case himself, stained it with holy water, and marked the cross to protect them. Just hours later, emergency responders were called to the hotel where CPR was performed, but he did not wake up. I don't know. I don't know what was wrong with the original box. We just know he's not here no more. Annabelle has done her tour. I don't know who about to get that doll next, but leave that hoe where she at. Don't even pick her up no more. I'm still waiting on the cause of, him losing his life, but there is no cause right now. They're not saying how he died. I don't know if it was from a stroke or a heart attack or whatever, but I mean, I wish they would send it to the Oval Office and let that hoe sit right there on the table, but it'd have to be a collective unaliving. It'd have to be collectively together. Yeah, so he's gone. I don't know who's going to take over his tour, but he ain't here no more. The man that was doing the tour with Annabelle, he's gone. Spiritual baddies, y'all do it what y'all will for that. I don't know. That's just y'all. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm gonna keep that dog where he's at. ICE is coming for your lease. If you're an undocumented immigrant and you have a lease, ICE is pressuring landlords to get your tenant info. Please spread the word. They're now going after landlords to release tenant information. No joke. So this pertains to anybody, Haitian, African, East European, whatever you are, please be mindful that they are looking at your landlords now. They are searching high. It's getting ugly. It is definitely getting ugly. That they not playing. You know that Stephen Miller, he wants $3,000 a day. $3,000 a day collected. Now, the U.S. farms are going broke fast. I told y'all about this shit yesterday, but now there's a report. Can someone scan my private video? Can somebody get her out of here? U.S. farms are going broke fast in 2025. In just the first 3 months of 2025, 259 farms across the U.S. filed bankruptcy, Chapter 12 bankruptcy. 259 farms in the first 3 months have already filed for bankruptcy. They're going broke. More than the total filed during 2024. This makes the highest quarterly number since 2021, according to new data of the University of Arkansas. The numbers reflect depending on financial pressure. Ryan Loy, an extension economist with the university, noted that we are seeing the same red flags that showed up before the farming crisis in 2018 and 2019. That was Trump's era. And y'all voted for this man again? He did the same thing in 2018 and 2019. And y'all voted this man again. Farmers voted for him again. The same exact thing that happened in 2018, he's doing it again. And now y'all are filing for bankruptcy. And y'all, it's about to be a lot more bankruptcies because the more he picks up, the more immigrants he takes, the more broke y'all gonna go. Y'all, food is about to be short. A brutal combination of falling commodity prices, stubborn high input costs. Everything is going up. Tariffs on seed, fertilizer, fuel, and pest management products are still expensive. Farmers are spending more to grow less valuable crops. It's getting really, really, really hard out in these streets because all that money that Biden gave them was taken from Trump. Trump took that money back. Biden gave farmers of America money to put solar panels to start growing their food overnight, to increase their intake. He gave them money for that. Trump took that money back. He took that money back. So now they're suffering. I have no words for that. Last but not least, the Miami Herald reports that hundreds of detainees at the Everglades immigration prison, nicknamed Alligator Alcatraz, has obtained a list of 750 detainees ages 18 to 73, primarily Mexico, Cuba, and Guatemalan. One third of them have no criminal convictions or charges in the United States. They're being picked up based on race. They're being picked up based on them speaking Spanish. One third of them. No criminal background. They're just there. They're just there. And I'm going to say this, and y'all can take it how y'all want, because I don't give a shit. Now I'm seeing a lot of Latinos saying that we're being racially profiled. We're being picked up based on our skin color. We're being picked up on the way we speak. We're being, targeted. Well, sweethearts, Black folks have been going through that for what, how long? 400, 500, 600 years here in this country. We've been through that. Actually, we still go through that shit. Welcome to our world. The world we try to prevent y'all from being in. The world we try to prevent y'all from being in. Welcome to that world. Now you know how it feels to be followed behind in your car and trying to figure out, did you go over the speed limit? Now you know how it feels to go into a grocery store and people follow you around just to see what you're going to buy or what you're not going to buy. Now you know how it feels when people look at you funny because you're speaking your own language. And yes, Black people in America have their own language. African American English vernacular. Or vernacular English. We have our own language. Now y'all know how this shit feels. You're only getting an increment of it because at least you're getting picked up and put somewhere else. We got picked up and put in chains. We got picked up and beaten. We got picked up and put in small ass cages and never went anywhere but back into bondage or stuck. And I'm saying all this because midterms are coming. Midterms are coming for y'all asses. And maybe next time, y'all will not let the white man come in between you and another minority. Yes, it is y'all fault. And maybe y'all will learn y'all lesson. Anytime a white person steps up to divide minorities, it is never for the benefit of the minority. It is for the benefit of the white person stepping in between. That has always been their goal. That is how they divide. They think and they say, your skin is lighter. You're not like them. You're the good kind. You're the better kind for America. You're the good kind of Latino. You're not like the Mexicans. You're Cuban. They played y'all. And in that process, you fucked over your own community. And now they sitting in cages. Midterms are coming. Get your ass up and vote the right way. This is not the time to be coddling over and feeling ashamed for what the fuck you did. It's time for you to fix it. The white man's main majority is to divide and conquer, because if they divide us, they become the majority. And that is what's happening right now. They are trying to become the majority again in the United States. And they use y'all dumb asses and your votes to do it. When black people tell you to move a certain way, it's not for the benefit of just us. it is the benefit for everybody that does not look white or is not a man. Because yes, we look out for white women too. So come midterms, get your ass up and vote whoever you voted for out of the goddamn office. Put a Democrat in that seat and get your people back home. Y'all fucked up during the election. And now your people are paying for it. Something that should never be happening. The last time people got put in cages, it was my people. You think we want to see that shit again? No. We don't want to see that. I don't want to see kids being pulled away from their families and separated and not knowing where the fuck their mama is. My people have been through that shit. You think we want to see that again? We don't. We don't get a kick out of this. But y'all have got to learn y'all fucking lesson. And the lesson is, when black people say move a certain way, it is for the benefit of everybody who's not a white male in this fucking country and not straight. We don't do this shit for our health. We do it for the safety. And y'all talking about fucking unity, y'all lost that shit in November. Now y'all need to get with y'all people, Latino community completely, Cubans, Venezuelans, Mexicans, all y'all need to come together and vote the right way. Because we're going to do that. Because we knew it was coming down the pipeline. You white women, I don't know what to tell y'all. Y'all always divided. Some of y'all love staying on y'all knees and being oblivious to the world. And some of y'all get y'all asses up. More y'all need to start talking to your people. I can't expect white men to move any kind of way. I don't. And I'm part of the LGBTQIA community. And I cannot see how some of y'all gay people move the way y'all move. Because y'all are frightening. You vote against your own people. As y'all frightening as hell. Come midterms, don't bullshit us. Or you're going to be the next one in a cage. I guarantee you that. And think I'm fear-mongering and I'm gaslighting. Baby, they will denaturalize all of y'all asses. They don't know where to put us. We've been here for generations upon generations upon generations. Y'all, on the other hand, have a place to go. He will figure out a way to denaturalize everybody and their goddamn mama. And that's all I have to say. I will see you guys tomorrow. Make sure y'all are harassing your representatives, especially your Republican representatives today. Make sure y'all are in their comment sections telling them if they vote for this recession bill, we're going to have a fucking problem. Y'all need to start harassing the fuck out of them, shaming them publicly. Hell, if you see them in public, shame them publicly. We need to start shaming again. Shaming is the best way to humiliate somebody into doing the right thing. Okay? Y'all have a good day. I'm about to go eat me a protein egg sandwich or something. Bye. This thing never lets me exit. I can never exit a proper way. Bye, YouTube land.